Again, welcome back to The Fan with Pete Hoffman. We are being joined right now by a very special guest. UFC 295 is in town Saturday at MSG. I'm actually not going to be here, dude. I've been at every MSG card, but I got to go work for the Giants, so I got to be in Dallas, unfortunately. But right now, Sean O'Malley, bantamweight champ, is in the house, dude. Welcome. It's an honor to speak to you. How you feeling, bro?
Feel good. Cool studio. Cool setup. Feel good. New York's been fun. Busy.
This is not the first time you've been to New York, right?
No, I've been here before.
Okay, I was gonna say, dude. Now it's a little bit different though because now you got the swag, you got the belt.
I've had the swag.
You always had the swag, right? You've always had the swag. As we talked about off air a little bit, you've always had the swag, but now you have the belt.
Yeah.
How does it feel like walking around with a little extra bling bling?
It feels good. I felt like I really felt like I was the champ before I was the champ. Just like I was the biggest name in the division. One of the biggest stars in the UFC. A couple fights before I was even champ. So I kind of felt like the champ before the champ. But now that it's official, it feels good.
You talk about that, and now they just came out a couple of days ago with your fight that you're going to defend the belt against Chito Vera, which is, that's your one loss that you have on your career. Is that the fight that you particularly were dying for? I think when you won the belt, if I'm correct, you're like, bring it, whoever it is, I'll take it. But is Chito someone that you wanted to revenge that loss with?
Chito's who I called out right after the fight. Okay. I wanted, that's the fight I wanted. So, I wanted that fight. I said December. Obviously, that didn't work out as planned, but I'll take it in March. Let's go.
Now, do they have a location yet? I haven't heard anything.
I have heard of a place, but I was asked not to say anything yet, so I can't tell.
You can say it here. It's fine, dude. I don't mind breaking stories at all.
Yeah, no, they said they didn't have it locked in officially, so they didn't want me to hype it up too much. So, but yeah, they kind of have a place, an idea. In
your dream, think about this. We've talked about, the card here is in MSG this Saturday. It's a huge venue, but is there a specific dream spot for Sean O'Malley, Sugar Time, Sean O'Malley? Where is the perfect venue for you to walk out and you just be like, this is what I dreamed of?
Yeah, before I fought in Boston, I had only really fought in Vegas and Abu Dhabi once, so I didn't really care too much to fight anywhere else. But fighting in Boston was really different. That was one of the most crazy moments of my life. Just walking out, and there was 6 Aljo fans there. The whole entire stadium was Sugar. Pink wigs, the merch, it was crazy. So Boston, I would have never thought how much fun that could have been, but I don't really have another specific spot. I really enjoy fighting in Vegas. The Sphere would be cool.
Dude, that would be really I just was in Vegas the other day, and I didn't get too close to it, but the Sphere looks amazing.
You don't need to get too close to it. You can see it.
Dana wants to jump in that. Have you actually been inside yet? Have you had the opportunity to?
No, I haven't been inside.
But that's a spot that you
definitely I think it'd be cool. Yeah, Vegas at the Sphere would be cool. Arizona. I've been living in Arizona for almost 10 years, so I feel like that's home. Would be cool. Montana would be cool, but there's just not quite the, and there's not really anywhere to do it there.
Where are the most Sugar fans?
The most Sugar fans? Well, other than like specifically in the United States?
Yeah, anywhere. Anywhere in the world, if there's a specific city that you've been to where you're like, dude, I was blown away. Or is it just everywhere you go now, it's kind of like that?
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere I go. I feel like it's pretty crazy, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a specific location where I...
Again, Sean O'Malley joining us right now, UFC bantamweight champion who is fighting at UFC 299 TBD on the location, which I cannot wait for. It's in March. But UFC 295 this weekend at MSG. You are, like you said, you've always had the confidence. You've been the champion. You feel that you were always the champion and that this is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
But there comes extra pressure. There comes extra things that come your way. Again, you've been around New York all day today. So this is life now for you in the fast lane. But that being said, though, you've seen some other big-time fighters, and you are now that level of fighter.
Yeah.
How do you stay focused? How do you not get ahead of yourself? How do you not get negative attention in the spotlight?
Well, it helps booking fights. It helps having something to go after. So it was nice. I kind of knew about this fight in March with Chito a while back, but it's nice when it gets announced, when it's like official. And, no contract's been signed, but Dana announced that it's as official. That, you know what I mean? It's happening. That makes it easier to kind of get back to work, get back to the grind, and you don't want to be the guy that gets his ass kicked. So it's easy to
So Volkanovski said this recently too, because he kind of jumped in last minute for his last pay-per-view. And he said, just keep me busy. I want to be busy. It's not good to not be busy.
Yeah.
Can you explain that to me a little bit more? Like, what is the problem with there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone's so much different. Don't want to talk for him, so I don't know what he's going through. He might be going through extra stuff. But yeah, I mean, in a sense, I get the, I like to have a date booked, because if not, there's that, yeah, I guess I could go to the club tonight. I could go out with the boys tonight. I don't have anything booked. So having something booked makes it a lot easier to kind of get back on track, stay disciplined, and live that healthy lifestyle.
How many times in 2024 do you want to fight? Obviously, the March is booked.
Yeah.
But how frequently? I mean, do you want to be an active, or do you want to kind of just be like, twice a year type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, those title fights, the camps are brutal. I'm gonna do 12 weeks, 3 months to prepare for that fight. It depends how the fight goes. I go out there and knock them out real fast and have no injuries. Let's book another fight. I go out there and, it's a war, which it very well could be against Chito. He's very tough, very durable, very skilled, good opponent. So it just depends on how each fight goes, but I would like to fight minimum twice.
Now, the Chito fight specifically, you look back at that fight, you were going through some injuries that right then and there in that fight. Do you really chalk that as a loss on your career? I mean, it's on the record book, but I mean, honestly, like John Jones has a loss on his career too.
Exactly.
So take me through what you really feel like with this Chito rematch.
Yeah, I feel like he feels the same way. Like, he knows he got very, very lucky. Kicked my nerve and my foot went numb. Had drop foot and rolled my ankle like 7 times in 30 seconds, and it just, the fight ended how it ended. But yeah, I don't feel like I went in there and lost skill for skill. I don't feel like he beat me skill for skill. And so yeah, that's where my head's at.
All right, so I have a list of some bantamweight fighters, and I kind of would like to hear what you think and how you. I know that you're going to win all these fights, but you tell me how you're going to win them. Obviously, you beat Aljo already, but the Merab Davashvili. KO. There we go. I love that. Henry Cejudo.
KO.
Let's go to Chito Vera coming
KO.
up. Song Yadong.
KO.
Rob Font.
KO.
Dom Cruz.
KO.
All right, I guess we got KOs all over the place. I love it, dude. I love the confidence.
Yeah.
What gives you that confidence?
How many guys I've KO'd? I've knocked a lot of people out of my career. I probably had around 30 fights total, and a lot of them ended up in KOs. I know I'm capable of KOing anybody in my weight class. Like, I know I've done it. I just did it to Aljo, the greatest bantamweight of all time. So, that's how I just want to end fights. That's what people want to see.
Is there any fighter in the bantamweight division that I didn't name that you would like to at least like share the cage with? Because that's the other thing too. Like, you're at this level now where you could pick out anybody. I mean, there's obviously rankings, but like, for example, one of the guys that I loved watching for a long time was Cody Garbrandt. Again, KO power. You love watching that in all these divisions. And when the bantamweight was not known for the knockouts,
yeah,
he was one that kind of just started to show, hey, it can happen. Mm-hmm. And then you followed suit with that. Would you love to see power for power with that, or no?
It's funny how the tables have turned from where we were at, 2-3 years ago. But yeah, I mean, he's got a lot to do to get back into that win column. He's, I think on a 6-fight losing streak or something crazy, and he's been knocked out about 17 times. And so it's, tough time to be a Cody Garbrandt fan, but hey, he's got something coming back, so we'll see.
Sean O'Malley joining us again right now. UFC 299 for you, but
Yep.
295 coming up at MSG. You are special in the 135. There's no doubt about it. But we do know that there's so many other goals that you want to meet. How many weight classes do you realistically think that you could be a championship in?
I feel like I could go up to 145 eventually, be a champ up there. 155 would be a stretch, but never say never. I've never really lifted and tried to put on weight just because I do have to stay around where I'm at right now. So, I lift to stay strong, but I don't really lift to get, bigger. Mm-hmm. So 45 for sure. 55 could be a stretch, but I never say never.
Would you go back to 125 for fun of
No,
it again? No.
25? No way. I could never make 25 again. No way.
And dude, I was going through the list again. The performances of the night are just ridiculous. How many do you have you racked up already?
8.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean, do you, when you go into a fight, are you literally just like focused on what your game plan is, not worried about the performance of the night? Or are you looking to see, I'm actually want to put a show for these people?
Luckily that was just my style. I never really, I just went in there and flowed. Like that was kind of always my style. I'm just going to go in there and try to knock this dude out. And if I knock the dude out, it's going to be entertaining one way or another. There's never really a boring knockout. So if I just go out there and knock this dude out, the fans are going to enjoy that. It's going to be pure entertainment. So I've never really been in the fight like thinking, God, I got to do something for the people. I just go in there and flow, and it just happens to be entertaining.
When the cage closes, the cage door closes, I ask this sometimes. Some people give different answers, but does your mentality change at all, or is it still you're the same Sean O'Malley before the cage and inside the cage?
No, totally feel like a different human. Don't even feel like that. It's hard for me to even remember being in the cage because I feel like it's just like someone else takes over, higher self, whatever you want to call it. The flow, I don't know. I feel like, completely different person.
Now, I again, being joined by Sean O'Malley right now, I don't like these fights, but you tell me, because you are social media king as well. It's not just about your in the cage skills, but you also have a social media presence.
Yeah.
So we see the Jake Pauls of the world. We saw the Francis Ngannou's versus Tyson Fury's, which, by the way, I mean, did you have a feel on that fight? Did you watch the fight, Tyson Fury?
I did. Yeah.
Did you think Francis actually won the fight? Do you think
I thought Tyson outboxed him. I thought Francis landed the bigger shots and won bigger moments, but round for round, it looks like Tyson outboxed him. Well, but I'm also a horrible judge. Like sometimes I'll be on my phone. I feel like I watched that one pretty closely. I didn't rewatch it. But yeah. Do
you go back and watch? Are you a fan of MMA? Or are you just a fan of what you do?
Mostly a fan of what I do. There's times like where I'll tune in for certain fights, but for the most part, I would say I'm a casual.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when a pay-per-view hits and you're not at the fight itself, are you sitting there with your boys hanging out watching the fights? Or you
big fights? Well, yeah. Usually, I'd say the pay-per-views. I tune into the pay-per-views. Yeah.
Is there one person that stuck out to you? Because again, like we talked about this off air. Like I've been in it. I've loved MMA for years. So like I came up with the Andre Arlovskis, the GSPs, you name it. I mean the Coutures, everybody. Is there one person that really got you into like I am going to be a fighter because of this person?
Not really. I think the first people I remember was like Dominic Cruz and Uriah Faber. Kind of like the first time I remember watching fights, but I never really was a huge fan of it. And then Conor. Conor was like the one. I remember when Conor fought Max. I'm like, this dude's fun to watch. He has a crazy style, his accent, he talks well. That's probably when I kind of like. I was already, my goal was already to get into the UFC at that time, but that was the one that like really stood out.
So you see the way that Conor moved. He had the big boxing fight with Floyd Mayweather. Do you, obviously the power's there, do you feel like you could hang with anybody in boxing? Do you want to make that plunge eventually?
Yeah, I would love to. I get a lot of, there's so much hate for me saying I would love to go and, attempt to box these guys. I would love to. And I get a lot of hate for saying that, but that's okay. I get it. Well, actually, I don't get it. I don't understand why people hate that, but yeah, that's something I would like to do someday.
Could I tell you why? And this is just an organic general. Like, I'm such a huge MMA fan. I'm not as big of a boxing fan. And I really want someone of MMA skill to go out there and just wipe the floor with somebody. And so far, it's been mismatched. So everything, like, I never thought for a second that Francis Ngannou was going to go in and beat Tyson Fury. Yeah. I never thought Ben Askren was going to go and beat freaking Jake Paul. Yeah. So it's like as much of a supporter of the MMA community that I am, I don't want to see anybody of our community get knocked out again.
Right.
Like when Tyler Woodley got knocked out, I'm like, shit.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah. I get it. I feel like that's not the hate I'm getting. I'm getting hate because I'm trying to do something big and trying to, just do something different. And I think a lot of people are just, for whatever reason, haters.
Dude, it's a payday. That's the first thing, especially depending on who you're going to fight. It's payday, which I'd never knock at all. That's something that we, I want to see you keep fighting. I want to see you keep succeeding. Yeah. So that's something that's going to help you for sure. But it's also going to help the popularity.
Yeah, it's not for me. I guess it definitely could be considered a payday. I've never really looked at it like that. I love money. I love making money, but I just love competition. I love the fact that how it would be a massive underdog that no one would think I'm going to win. That's what I like. That's what makes it sound fun for me. Is going out there. I'm supposed to lose, and I get to go out there and compete. I just love competing.
When's the last time you were a dog? I don't remember. It's been a while, right?
Oh, well, I was an underdog against Peter Yan and Aljo. I was an underdog against both those guys. I think the odds came out for me versus Chito. I think I'm a favorite.
Do you laugh at those odds when they come out? Do you go, come on, dude?
No, I didn't. If I'm looking at it from a different perspective, not being me, I get it. Like me versus Peter Yan, I haven't fought anybody. Peter Yan's been champ. He's fought, beat Jose Aldo. He's beat Aljamain. Like I get the odds, and then I fight Aljo when I'm coming off a close fight against Peter, and Aljo's the greatest bantamweight of all time versus me, who my best win's a controversial win over Peter. I'm gonna be an underdog. I get that, so I never really don't get offended. That makes sense. I get it.
Well, that's actually good because I make that's my job is to make picks. We make picks all the time, and I'm always like I talk to fighters, and I just I appreciate what you guys do, but sometimes I have to make a decision because that's my job. If I don't make a decision, I sound like a schmo.
Yeah.
Do you look at the people like oh, these guys all went against me? F them.
I don't. I definitely don't say F them. You can tell when someone makes a pick if they're like, it's a close fight. I would love to see him win, but I just don't think he's gonna. Compared to like, he's gonna get smoked. He sucks. Like you can tell the difference between when people are picking like, if they kind of want you to win, but they just don't think you're gonna. It's different than if they're like, no, that guy's gonna lose. He sucks. Like there's no shot. But I hold on to that a little bit sometimes.
Well, good. I'm glad you hold on to the people that you think that you suck.
I take that back. I do watch them kind of if I'm hitting sprints on the treadmill. I watch like the picks and stuff and see who's going. I don't hold on to him because I literally don't remember like who picked against me. In the moment I do when I'm on the treadmill, feeling it, running, in camp, and use it for fuel. But after it's like, I'm the fucking champ. Why do I give I don't give a care. Like that doesn't really bother me anymore. I'm the champ.
You are the fucking champ, dude. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Listen, Sean O'Malley, I appreciate the time, man. You are the man. $2.99 for you. Location TBD, but Madison Square Garden this Saturday. You're gonna be there?
I will not.
You're not? What are you?
No.
I'm not either. I got to Dallas, but what are you doing?
I gotta go home and see my princess. She just turned 3 a couple days ago, and I had to go to Atlanta for a few days. Been here for a few days, so I'm ready to get back home. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Congratulations. That's awesome, man. Enjoy it while they're young, dude, because they grow up really quickly. Thank you so much for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Fuck yeah. Thank you, bro.